So there is a report out there that the XFL has hired a head coach. That's right, Reggie Barlow from Virginia State University. So could the XFL have hired its first coach? Well, according to a report by Sean Robertson of WTVR CBS 6, Virginia State University head coach Reggie Barlow has accepted a job for the XFL. Quote, multiple sources have told me that Reggie Barlow has resigned as VSU head football coach. He has been with VSU since 2016 and won the CIAA for Life title in 2017. He went 34-16 at VSU. Sources say he has accepted a job with the XFL. Interesting. So this could mean a lot of different things. It could mean maybe he was an offensive coordinator, or maybe he is head coach for an XFL team. This is what happened at first at 1 o'clock on the 10th. Now, Barlow was the head coach of Virginia State from 2016 till now. He was head football coach at Alabama State University from 2007 to 2014. Drafted in the fourth round of the 1996 NFL draft by Jacksonville Jaguars. He played 8 seasons in the NFL as a wide receiver and punt returner, 5 for the Jaguars, 2 for the Buccaneers, and 1 for the Oakland Raiders. In 1997, Barlow led the NFL in punt return yards with 555 on 43 returns. He began his head coaching career in 2005 at Alabama State as a quarterbacks coach. Apparently that coach left, and then he went right into the head coach. He took over in 2007 and finished with a 49-42 record in 8 seasons. Now, there's no official word yet from the XFL, and this could mean that the dominoes are falling. Other coaches could be getting offers now as well, and we still don't know teams, location, TV deals, any of that things. That story came out at 1 o'clock. Hours later, there was a clarification on this story from the one Sean Roberts on Reggie Barlow that he was leaving to work in the XFL. Not only will he be the head coach, cleared that thing up, but he would be the head coach of an XFL franchise in San Antonio. Quote, multiple sources have told me that Barlow has left VSU to become the new head coach of the San Antonio franchise of the XFL. That piece, my friends, is really, really interesting. Now, ever since Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson announced on TV that there would be new teams and new cities, there's been speculation about which places might make most sense. Before the XFL shut its doors, we knew that the league was looking at San Antonio as a possible location. We have a story on that on XFL News Hub, where they were talking with people. Once they decided to pause the XFL staff, some of them went right into starting talking San Antonio as a possible location. Now, San Antonio as a possible location for which team? That's the question. Now, The Rock tweeted, talking about somebody had talked about Texas Pro Day. The Rock said, "We appreciate you, Callie. You're right. The XFL is everywhere, and I look forward to coming back in the great state of Texas, where I used to live as a kid. See you soon." Because somebody had talked about there's a lot of XFL scouts out there right now going to pro days, checking out players. So The Rock responding to somebody else. When the league closed, 3 of the XFL franchises were potentially moving. This was from an article we have 2 years ago. Based on attendance numbers, the teams would have been maybe Los Angeles Wildcats, Tampa Bay Vipers, and New York Guardians. All 3 teams averaged roughly 12,000 fans per home game. That was the lowest in the league. Didn't really hear anything about Texas as being a possibility of one of the teams in Texas moving. The Vipers have been rumored to be moving to Orlando. There's no surprise there. The league did not put franchises in San Antonio or Orlando because of the AAF. They had teams there when the XFL was planning their teams. So when the AAF folded, the XFL kind of already had who and what they were going to do in those places. Now, did the XFL move the Roughnecks or Renegades to San Antonio, or did the XFL add a new franchise? Now, having 3 teams, XFL teams in Texas, would not make much sense. We'll have to wait more on if more coaches' hires get leaked or any official announcements from the XFL. Aaron Wilson also reported that former Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Reggie Barlow is the new head coach of the San Antonio XFL franchise, according to a league source. And then he talks about Barlow there. So he got that right from the XFL league itself. We know Danny Garcia this past week was in New York City. She posted a bunch of stuff on her Instagram. This, of course, is the home of Redbird Capital Partners. She was there doing fashion stuff for her God Save the Queen fashion line. You know that I'm sure they took a dinner, hung out a little bit, talking XFL. So we've also seen a lot more social media chatter from the XFL scouts. So could this be a sign that a TV deal or team's announcements are coming soon? We have no official word yet, but we do know that one of the XFL franchises is going to wind up in San Antonio. The question is it the Roughnecks? Is it the Renegades? Let us know in the comments. And are you excited, San Antonio, for having your own XFL team?